welcome to another cold and chilly morning up here in the northeast of Scotland. Today we're going to be talking about my field test and review of the Quest Q60 and my thoughts with that. Thanks to Joe and Alan who send these machines up for me to spend time with and field test and then get the answers out to you guys who are hopefully thinking of do I want to buy this machine or do I not? This will hopefully answer that for you. Having spent a lot of time with the Quest Q30 and the review for that will be in the link below this video, I was really looking forward to getting this machine. One thing that bothered me and I was slightly sort of in the back of my mind niggling me was, is it worth over double the price of the Q30? What's so different about this machine? It shares some of the same features, but I won't keep sort of trying to compare the two. It shares the same three-piece shaft, it's the same controller. Very similar. If you're used to the Q30, the options are exactly the same. However, the Q60 has got some added bits in there and some added bonuses and lets you go a bit deeper into the menus and some sub-menus and start changing things as you become more experienced. You might like to get in there and start setting things up how you like them. One of the big differences with this is the Beast X coil that's on there, so it's a much bigger coil. Does add a bit of extra weight to it. It's nothing to worry about. It doesn't sort of make your arm ache, but you do feel it's a little bit more nose heavy than the Q30 is. Again, it shares the same features as the same cam locks that are really sturdy. Again, there's no wobble in the shaft. One thing I particularly liked about the Q30, it's followed over into the Q60, is this one here. We can drop this cam lock and we can slide the controller back and forward so you can get your arm into a comfortable position without any fuss whatsoever. No need for screwdrivers, releasing sort of nuts or anything like that. Straight away we can adjust it. The screen's very similar, but you can see on there there's some different options on there. Again, we've got the same detecting modes with a few added extras this time. So we've got park, we've got field, we've got 2 gold settings, we've got salt water, we've got sand, and we've also got a deep mode, and we'll come to the deep mode in a minute. Straight away, some of the differences I noticed with this machine, being able to operate it in the higher frequencies. So because we've got the multi-frequencies, I spent a bit of time running this up in 21 kilohertz, and you do tend to start to pick up the smaller, tiny little objects that you might be worried with some of the lower fixed frequency machines that you're missing. It's as sharp as the Q30. Depth-wise, it's punching very, very well in terms of depth with this big coil on it. There are some machines out there that search quite deep. This is one of them. And I talked in one of my last videos about sort of depth tests, air testing, test beds and things like that. I'm not a fan of them. I'm a fan of getting out there in the real environment and testing them properly, and over a period of time as well, not just ripping it out of the box, getting out there, doing a quick air test and then forming an opinion. Where does it sit in the market? It sits at the high end. Its price, so it's $699, comes with a free pinpointer again from Joe and Alan, and you think straight off the bat that's expensive compared to the sort of $299 of the Quest Q30. However, some of the things that you get with it, I haven't got them with me today, but are the waterproof headphones from Quest. You also get the Quest Pro wire-free headphones. I'm going to do a review on these in their own right. Fantastic headphones, I really enjoy them, really enjoy using them. Probably some of my sort of favourite headphones out there. What would I change about it? So far, there are a few things that stand out that and again, I don't want to pull this thing apart, but I'm starting to be a bit sort of pedantic. A couple of things. I think I mentioned it on the Quest Q30 review. I'd really like to see the option for us to be able to change the recovery speed on this thing. I'd like to be able to manually get in there and do some changes to the recovery speed. So I can calm it down, I can pull some more depth out of the machine, or I can pick up the recovery speed if I'm working in a really trashy, iron-infested environment. A few other things, in order to change detecting modes, so if we want to go from park to field or something like that, you've got to depress 2 buttons. Now, when your arm's in the arm cup under the strap, it is a sort of two-handed job, so it means putting down your shovel and then getting 2 hands on there to start changing that. It's not the end of the world, I'm probably being over picky, however, I'd like to be able to do it all one-handed, so this hand can keep holding the shovel and I can do all the controls from here. One other thing that I noticed is it can start in a really busy, sort of trashy environment, it can start to get a bit chirpy and it can start to chatter away. The things that you can do to calm it down, you can go into it, you can manually change the frequency in smaller notches. So instead of going from 21 down to 19, within the 21 kilohertz, I can just notch it out. There's 5 settings in there and find a quieter setting. Equally, you can drop it down in the kilohertz. You can change the sensitivity. Or what I found was when it was really getting chirpy is I switched to the deep mode. Now the way the deep mode operates is it just drops the frequency slightly and it slows down as a preset the recovery speed. That calms the machine down, and then you can carry on without that sort of chirpiness in the background. It's not something that happens all the time, but it is something that I have noticed that there's a bit of chirping happening. It just takes a little bit of fiddling to quieten it down. The option to be able to go in, Quest, if you're listening to me, stick on there the option for me to be able to, or us to be able to get in there and change the recovery speed. That'd be great. Apart from that, I'm really struggling to find any bad faults for this thing. It's more expensive, dramatically so, than the Q30, but you've also got a lot more options. The Q30 would take you all the way through your metal detecting sort of life, if you want to term it in that way. However, if, like me, you've spent time with other machines and you like to get into the menus and you like to start changing settings, then you can absolutely do that with this machine. Again, in terms of software updates, they are out there. You can do it all through your phone. You can download the Quest Go app, and then you can go into there and you can look for new updates, and there's lots of other things that you can do in that app. I'm not going to talk too much about the app today. I've been really enjoying this machine. I'm looking forward to spending more time with it. Is it worth its money compared to Q30? Yes, is the answer, in my opinion. Build quality, it's exceptional, and the extras that you get in with this machine from Joe Allen. So, for example, as I mentioned earlier, you're getting the waterproof headphones, you're getting the Quest Pro headphones, you're getting the wired headphones, and a pinpointer with it. That alone adds up to a considerable amount of money without even taking into account this machine. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would. Can it hold its own amongst the big known brands? Absolutely, and it is doing it. It definitely is holding its own. I've taken this thing to many digs alongside other machines and tested it in the same areas where I've been testing my own other machines as well, and this thing is up there. If you have any questions about the Quest Q30 or the Q60, stick them in the link below. If you'd like to see any sort of instructional videos on how I set this thing up and how I've been getting it to work well for me, then again, stick them in the comments below, and I'll hopefully be able to come back with some videos that will help. Till the next video, take care.